You believe you're doing the right thing, don't you? Mm. You've convinced yourself that you're helping them. Though, is this really about helping them? Or are you trying to be the hero? Because maybe you don't know who you are if you're not. Guys, those are some questions that I had to ask myself. And I'm telling you, it wasn't easy. It was not easy. Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole, and today we're going to be discussing about the savior mentality and how more often than not it's disguised as care, love, loyalty, friendship, companionship. Being a ride or die. Allow me to be vulnerable today with you. I'm going to be sharing a few of the lessons that I've learned and the reasons why I had developed a savior mentality. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with supporting people in a healthy way and holding their hand. We are where we are today as a people because we have supported and benefited from other people's support throughout the centuries. It's how we've moved from where we used to be to where we're at right now. But with the savior complex, there is a compulsive urge to step in and rescue someone from their own detriment. Now, this is going to be a recurring theme. Remember, there is no free lunch. This is going to be a theme that we're going to see throughout the discussion of this topic in this video. So let's explore a few of the general factors why someone would develop the savior complex. Number one, early childhood. Maybe you grew up in an environment where your caretakers, your parents were erratic, irrational, moody. Basically, you grew up in an unpredictable behavior. And for this reason, it forced you to step up as a child and be an adult in the home, the one who takes things from here to here, the one who cools people and calms people down. Then you hear a lot of, oh, you're so mature for your age. That could be a reason. Also, let me stop there and say, as I was doing the research on this topic, I came across a really insightful article on Psychology Today. The title of this article is Understanding the Savior Complex. I am taking from this article, it's expounding on what the writer of this article was saying and also including my own experiences as well. Number two, cultural norms and religious beliefs. The stories we tell shape our reality, and this is the title of a video from one of my favorite YouTubers, Gooby and Dooby. He has a really cool channel with his dog, and I really love, the content that he puts out there, so feel free to check it out as well. Religious beliefs, martyrdom is a moral high ground. Self-sacrifice is equivalent to holiness, and service without limits, that's love. And so you stretch yourself so thin in the name of love because, well, love bears all things. But there's absolutely nothing divine in my books about love with no boundaries. In fact, I'd actually consider it dangerous. So, number three and four, we're going to get a little bit more personal, dare I say, a little bit more dark. Here's the thing, I could have done this video in two ways. I could either have decided to focus on the other party and how, me stepping in and me being a savior is detrimental to them. But I have found in the challenges that I face as a human being every day, once I put myself in the center of the frame and completely understand what I am seeking to gain, what exactly I'm in search for, is when I begin to see real change, real transformation. It may sound selfish, but I personally think it's the best way to navigate the behaviors that could be causing you pain, be causing you distress, and all other negative experiences. And so I had to stop and ask myself, man, have I considered that somewhere along the way I gave up on my own healing, my dreams, my adventures? Maybe I felt like a failure. Maybe I felt like I wasn't good enough. For whatever reason, I stopped believing that I could heal. And so instead, I tried to save everyone else because I felt like it gave me purpose that I thought I had once lost. you know? I felt like it gave me a sense of direction. And also, at some point, to be very honest, I felt like it quieted the ache inside. And I would either deny, or I would ignore, or forget that people can only fix themselves once they choose to. People can only save themselves. I'm not their redemption, I'm not their lifeline. And more often than not, I don't have the tools. But then this would frustrate me, okay? And I would want to get to the root of the problem, because if I get to the root of the problem of what is happening to this person, and more often than not, it's coming from a good place. You're seeing someone struggling and you want to help them. But what I'm saying is there could be other underlying issues that were not in my conscious mind, that were going on back in my subconscious, that I was trying to fulfill. So because of that, I said, no, 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 no. We have to dig deeper. And I walked into the terrain of unpredictable emotional ground that I was, oh, so clearly not ready to walk through. And you know what tended to happen? Even after all that, they wouldn't heal. In fact, more often than not, they'd resist my grand plans to healing. Or even worse, they collapse back into the same pain that I was trying to get them out from. The blind leading the blind. And anger, frustration, disappointment would well up in me and build up in me, and I'd have a negative feedback loop, right? Of course, I'd be frustrated with the other person, but more so myself. Because here's more confirmation that you are a failure. Here's more confirmation that you actually are not good enough. Why did I go through this mental turmoil? I tied my self worth to their transformation, which is impractical. It's impossible, right? Because people can only save themselves once they choose to. Number four, creating dependency to cure loneliness or to get away from unwanted isolation. We all need each other. Whether we like it or not, no man is an island. We are all connected. And it's beautiful how connected we are. And it's also great to feel acknowledged, to feel seen, heard, your efforts being appreciated. I mean, who doesn't want that? If you don't want that, you're lying. You're lying to yourself. And it doesn't have to be by a crowd of people, even just one person who sees us who could literally change your whole life. And there's also unhealthy ways. And one of those unhealthy ways is the savior mentality. Think about it this way: if you're scared that you're not going to be invited to a party, and hey, you still want to be seen at the party, you want to experience a party, you want to be in a space where people are celebrating and having fun. And what is this pointing to? You want to be included. So here's a solution: just be going to throw the party. That way, people show up and you'll never miss to be invited to a party because you're the one throwing it. Problem solved. Right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You'll never, ever not be invited to a party because you're the one throwing it. So how can you not invite yourself? It don't work like that, right? And if you're trying to cure loneliness, hear me out. Loneliness is terrible. Loneliness is a terrible feeling. And there's a difference between solitude and being lonely. Being lonely is often not out of choice. You kind of feel like you don't have a choice in it, but you're being forced to suffer through it or to endure, right? And loneliness is often painful. You're craving connection. It can drain your energy and over time distort your self worth and image. And who wants that? No one wants that, right? I said before, we want to be in spaces where we feel seen, connected, and heard. An unhealthy way of building this is by becoming a savior. And at some point, I had to really stop and ask myself, exactly why am I jumping in to save people, to be there for people? If I step in and I save you, then you'll always have me, and I'll always have you. Problem solved. Loneliness out the door. Unwanted isolation, nowhere to be seen. But what I failed to realize at the time is that I am draining my own spirit as well as keeping the other person in a cage. because now they're not able to grow outside of you. And so we need to be really keen and realize exactly why we're doing some of these things. And then we mislabel this for connection and for loyalty. I'm just being there for my friend. Or are you trying to escape something else? Anyway, I hope you don't feel too called out. I felt that this was important for me to address, to understand why I would have this urge to save people, which usually comes from a good place, right? Usually comes from a place where you want to see other people succeed, thrive, and be in their best element. But there's healthy ways to do it and unhealthy ways to do it. There's a way you can do it that both you and the other person flourish. And there's ways you can do it where you drain yourself and the other person. But here I wanted us to focus on self, because that's the only way we actually achieve true change. So this was part 1 of the video. In part 2, we're going to learn how to for you to stop being an emotional crutch. You can be supportive and have boundaries. That's exactly what we're going to explore. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining in this part 1 of the video. Please leave a comment if you feel like you could relate to some of the things that I was saying. Happy for us to just be here and dwell in this space where we're vulnerable and where we talk and share about the different life lessons that we've garnered along the way. Yeah, so thank you for joining me and see you in the next video. Bye.